Bad habits are persistent, ingrained behaviors that often seem difficult to shake off. From unhealthy eating patterns to procrastination or smoking, these habits can feel automatic and beyond conscious control. However, understanding the brain's role in forming and reinforcing habits offers hope for overcoming them. By applying neuroscience principles, individuals can retrain their brain and develop healthier, more productive habits. This video explores how bad habits form in the brain and provides actionable insights for overcoming them, grounded in current neuroscience research. Habits are not merely behavioral actions. They are deeply embedded neural processes. According to neuroscientific research, habits are stored and processed in a part of the brain called the basal ganglia, which is responsible for controlling automatic movements and procedural learning. When you repeat an action over time, it becomes more automated, requiring less conscious thought. The process of habit formation follows a three-step cycle: cue, routine, and reward, often referred to as the habit loop. Here's how each step works. Cue, trigger. This is the stimulus or event that initiates the habit. It can be external, such as stress, time of day, or social context, or internal, emotional states like boredom or anxiety. Routine, behavior. This is the habitual action or behavior that follows the cue. For example, you might automatically reach for a sugary snack when you're stressed. Reward, after completing the behavior, the brain releases dopamine, a neurotransmitter associated with pleasure and reinforcement. The brain learns to associate the behavior with positive feelings, making the habit more likely to repeat. The key factor in habit formation is that the basal ganglia strengthens these pathways, making the behavior automatic over time. With repeated cycles of the habit loop, your brain learns to anticipate the reward, reinforcing the behavior further. Bad habits are difficult to overcome because of the way the brain's reward system works. When we engage in a habit, especially one that provides immediate gratification, like eating junk food or checking social media, our brain is flooded with dopamine. This flood of dopamine strengthens the habit loop, making it feel more rewarding and harder to disrupt. In contrast, the brain doesn't respond as quickly to behaviors that are not immediately rewarding, such as exercising, eating healthy, or working on long-term goals. These actions often require more effort and don't trigger the same dopamine response right away, making them feel less motivating in comparison. As a result, we may fall back into old patterns simply because they provide an immediate payoff, whereas healthier habits take time to show their benefits. The good news is that the brain remains highly plastic throughout life, meaning it is capable of change and adaptation. This phenomenon, known as neuroplasticity, allows the brain to rewire itself based on new experiences, thoughts, and behaviors. By intentionally targeting the neural circuits involved in habit formation, it's possible to reprogram the brain and break free from bad habits. Here are some evidence-based strategies for retraining the brain and overcoming bad habits. Identify and modify the habit loop. To break a bad habit, it's essential to understand the full habit loop: the cue, the routine, and the reward. Start by identifying what triggers the unwanted behavior. Is it stress? Boredom? A certain environment? Once you understand the cue, you can begin to interrupt the loop by replacing the negative behavior with a positive one. For example, if you tend to smoke when you're stressed, cue, and feel relief afterward, reward. You can replace smoking with deep breathing exercises or meditation. While the behavior, routine, has changed, the goal is to still achieve a sense of relaxation and stress relief, reward. Over time, the new behavior will become more automatic, and the brain will start associating stress with relaxation rather than smoking. The brain's reward system thrives on instant gratification, which is why bad habits that provide quick rewards are so hard to resist. One way to combat this is by practicing delayed gratification, training your brain to delay immediate rewards in favor of more meaningful, long-term gains. Studies show that when we anticipate a reward, the brain releases dopamine even before we receive it. By focusing on the future benefits of a healthier habit, such as improved physical fitness or better mental health, we can learn to associate those rewards with the action itself. The more frequently we practice delayed gratification, the stronger the neural pathways in the prefrontal cortex become, helping us override the brain's natural desire for quick rewards. Practice mindfulness and self-awareness. Mindfulness is the practice of being present and aware of your thoughts, emotions, and physical sensations without judgment. Research has shown that mindfulness can help reduce the automaticity of bad habits by increasing self-awareness. When you're mindful, you're less likely to act impulsively and more likely to recognize when a bad habit is about to take hold. Mindfulness practices, such as meditation, can help activate the prefrontal cortex, which is involved in executive functions like decision-making, impulse control, and planning. Strengthening the prefrontal cortex can enhance your ability to inhibit the urge to engage in bad habits. Additionally, mindfulness can help regulate emotional responses, making it easier to manage stress or discomfort without resorting to unhealthy habits. Use positive reinforcement. The brain responds well to rewards, so use this to your advantage. Positive reinforcement involves rewarding yourself when you engage in the desired behavior, making it more likely that you'll repeat the action in the future. This approach activates the brain's reward system in a healthy way and helps build new, positive habits. For instance, if you're trying to quit smoking, you might reward yourself with a small treat or an enjoyable activity, like watching a favorite show, every time you resist the urge to smoke. Over time, your brain will begin to associate these positive rewards with healthier behaviors, making them more likely to stick. Implement gradual changes, small wins. Trying to make drastic changes all at once can overwhelm the brain and make it harder to stick to new behaviors. Instead, research suggests that small, incremental changes are more effective for long-term success. By setting small, achievable goals, you can gradually build momentum and reinforce the new behavior. For example, if you're trying to overcome the habit of overeating, start by reducing portion sizes or cutting out one unhealthy snack per day rather than trying to completely overhaul your diet overnight. Each small win strengthens the neural pathways associated with self-control and positive behaviors. Leverage social support. Neuroscientific research also highlights the importance of social support in habit change. The oxytocin system, which is linked to bonding and social connection, can enhance motivation and emotional well-being. Having a support system, whether it's friends, family, or a therapist, can provide encouragement and accountability, making it easier to resist the urge to fall back into old habits. Additionally, social reinforcement can make new behaviors feel more rewarding. For instance, participating in a fitness class or joining a support group for smoking cessation can provide both social bonding and the satisfaction of achieving your goals in a group setting. Repetition and consistency. Finally, the key to rewiring the brain and overcoming bad habits lies in repetition. The more consistently you engage in a positive behavior, the more likely it is that the brain will form new neural pathways, gradually replacing the old, automatic ones associated with the bad habit. Studies suggest that it takes an average of 66 days for a new habit to become ingrained, but the exact time frame can vary depending on the individual and the complexity of the behavior. Patience and persistence are crucial. Eventually, the new behavior will feel more natural, and the old habit will lose its grip. Overcoming bad habits is challenging, but it is not impossible. By leveraging the brain's plasticity and applying principles from neuroscience, individuals can gradually rewire their brain to replace undesirable behaviors with healthier, more productive ones. Key strategies include identifying and modifying the habit loop, practicing delayed gratification, enhancing mindfulness, using positive reinforcement, implementing gradual changes, and leveraging social support. The brain's capacity for change, coupled with consistent effort and patience, makes it entirely possible to break free from bad habits and create lasting, positive change.